Good morning, everyone. Welcome into North Dakota today. Right now, we are turning our attention to keeping our kiddos healthy through the summer. Dr. Stephanie Hansen from Sanford Health is joining us this morning. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's so great to have you.
Thanks.
So last time, this is what's interesting. We talked about targeted ads with our children online, specifically apps, games, you name it. There are targeted ads. But now we're really talking about screen time.
Well, I thought this would be a good segue.
Absolutely.
Because, we're headed into summer. Kids are going to have more unstructured time in their day. So I just wanted to maybe give some reminders about screen time limits and talk about why too much of it can be a bad thing.
Yeah, I do. My first question, first and foremost, is there such thing as a healthy screen time in general for kids?
Well, I mean, we live in an electronic world, right? And we use screens for a lot of really beneficial purposes. It helps us get information. It helps us stay connected to our loved ones. So I don't want to just blanket say all screens are bad, because that's not true.
Okay, well, that's good. First and foremost, I'm sure a lot of people are like, my kid's on a screen right now. But really, though, when it comes down to it, it varies for ages, right? What would be a healthy screen time? Let's dive into the analytics here.
Well, there's lots of new research coming out about the effect of screen time on developing brains. And we're seeing where unproductive or kind of unguided screen time really leads to increased rates of depression, anxiety, unhealthy body image. And we touched on that last week when we talked about targeted advertising. But the science is starting to show us that what we suspected is really true.
Oh, and that's tough.
Yeah.
So we need to get ahead of it, huh?
Yeah. So let's start with the littles.
Okay.
Under 2, really no screen time. Obviously, it's really tough to stick to that.
It is,
and, a FaceTime with grandparents or, having a little bit of distraction when you just have to, get something done, that's okay.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be a part of their regular activity.
Okay.
Older kids, so we're talking school-age kids, that kind of, 2 to 12-year-old, probably an hour a day is best. And really, they should not have free access to the internet. They should not have free access to things like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. They should really be focused on movies and shows, simple, appropriate games. You should have a pretty tight rein on what they're able to access on their device.
Well, that's what I was going to say, too, is specifically how many of us have streaming services, so that's the main way we're watching our shows is through a screen. Yeah. So is there a difference? Would you say screen times are not necessarily...
Yeah.
Or it kind of varies is what I'm trying to ask?
Not all things are equal. Yeah. So just think about the way that you use a screen. If you're, and I'm guilty of this too, it's really easy to just start watching, videos that loop into the next one, into the next one, into the next one. And before I know it, an hour of my life is gone. And what did I spend it on? Nothing useful. The same is true for kids. You can set it up so that they play a game that has an end. They watch a show that has an end. And you have a natural transition point rather than that content that just keeps rolling.
Yeah, that sucks us in even as adults, especially on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what can parents do right now in their settings? What should they be doing?
It's never too late to set limits. And, obviously it's tough if you have to backtrack. If they've had free access and you're trying to reel it back, that's tough to do, but it's so worth it. Yeah. It's so worth it. Get your kid outside. Bring their devices with them outside, or help them understand that there's ways to do fun things that also can involve electronics. So, dabble in geocaching, play some of the virtual reality games that get you out and into your community.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, that's exactly what I was thinking of. And I think the biggest thing is just really be aware of what your kids are consuming. Try to engage with them about it. A lot of that stuff is a natural jumping off point for conversation.
Yeah, okay, so a big takeaway, not all screen time is necessarily equal when it comes to the content. Yeah. So those shows and everything like that. And then 2 and under, we're saying no screens, essentially.
Yeah. Biggest bang for your buck for older kids, no screens at mealtime. That includes you too. No screens in the bedroom. That includes you too.
Oh, yeah, so we have to set the rules and then follow them ourselves, huh? That's the tricky part every time. Okay, anything else you want our audience to know this morning?
No, again, like I said, not all electronic media is bad, and there is a lot of really great and valuable stuff out there. Just like anything, you got to be aware of what your kids are into.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing us this information. Every time you come on, there's always so much that we learn, and it's so necessary in today's digital age, so thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, everybody, we have a special event from Down Home. Those details right here after the break.